Hello, my name is Dr. Carly, also known as Professor Caroline Fertelman, and I'm going to talk about swaddling a baby, and I'm going to do a demo, which is why I brought in my friend's pink monkey. Just seems fairly similar in proportion, but doesn't look like a baby, obviously. So lots of people like swaddling. It's a way of recreating what it feels like in the womb. And there are some sort of do's and don'ts, and I really want to go through them on this video, including showing you how to swaddle your baby. First of all, you want to use a thin material like a muslin. This is a thin bamboo, and I'm going to show you how to fold it. I've obviously chosen purple because purple is my favourite colour. So I'm going to show you first how to use how you swaddle a baby, and then we'll talk about how to make it as safe as possible. So first of all, you want to turn it into a sort of, you've got a square, and then you want to turn it into a triangle or a part triangle, depending on how big your baby is. I think this is probably about right. And then I'm going to do it upside down for you so you can see it in the video. So you put the baby, now my monkey, you put the top of it around the level of the ears, but you're not going to include any of the head in what's swaddled. So you first of all put one side over, and you probably would want to roll the baby over and tuck it in. And then you're going to take the bottom bit and tuck it underneath the shoulder here, and then finally you're going to take the last bit and tuck it over and put it underneath them. So I'm just going to lift them up. So this is what they look like from the front, and this is what they look like from the back. Important to know that you never want to cover the head unless you've been told to do so by healthcare professionals. Important to use a thin material. When you've swaddled your baby, you don't want to put anything else on top of them. So no extra covers. You need to make sure it's all nice and tight so that it doesn't sort of slip up and go over their face, interfere with their breathing, and possibly contribute, unfortunately, towards a cot death. That's not what we want. Other sort of things are, you don't want to swaddle your baby when they have a fever. That's definitely not a good idea. And you definitely don't want to swaddle a baby when they're sharing a bed with you. So those are sort of two no-nos. The material I've gone through, it's up to you to check about whether a material is right for swaddling or not, but mostly I would advise a thin cotton. This happens to be a bamboo, but a thin natural fibre, but nice and thin, because I think that's really important when you swaddle the baby. Once the baby is rolling around, your baby's able to roll, say 4 or 5 months of age, it's important that you do not put their arms inside the swaddle. It's probably best just to stop swaddling them then, because a baby who's got their arms stuck inside and has ended up on their tummy, it's going to find it very difficult to use their arms to get themselves back. And it's important that babies, if they can, is to sleep on their backs. The reason I say if they can, once babies are rolling over, there's less of a reason to keep flipping them back on their backs. But for sure, if you've swaddled them and they're rolling, then they can't use their arms to help roll them back. So that's very important as well. So these are some of the reasons that people like to swaddle. Swaddling is very nice for newborn babies. It recreates the womb, as I've said, but there are some do's and don'ts, particularly around the material, not covering their head, keeping the room temperature should be kept between 16 and 20 degrees. Don't share a bed when your baby is swaddled, and please don't use a swaddle when your baby's got a fever. If you found this useful, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and let other people know about it.